Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing some citrus gourmands. If that sounds like something you would be into, please like, subscribe to join the family, and turn on the notification bell so we can keep in touch with each other. What's everybody wearing today? What's your scent of the day? Let me know in the comments down below. I actually really want to start doing this more often, talking about our scents of the day, just because I feel like it'd be fun. Like, I actually want to know what you guys are rocking. So we're gonna talk citrus gourmands. I was gonna title this like lemon gourmands, but I just realized like all of them are not lemon gourmands. So I feel like I'm going to be referencing the fragrances to each other a lot throughout this video. I feel like that would probably be the best way to describe it in relation to each other because some of them are so similar. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the trio that people talk about a lot and get right into it. So first we're gonna talk about Lira. Lira I absolutely adored. You guys can see I do not have a Lira to show. I recently decluttered it. I talked about it in my last video. If you guys want to go check out the my recent decluttering video, curating my collection, I believe it's called. So I really liked Lira, but I felt like I was keeping it because of the hype. Now, hear me out for a sec. So it's a really beautiful fragrance. It is stunning. The opening, it's like, oh my god, beautiful lemon cookie. Some people get lemon pound cake. For me, I feel like it was much too fluffy to be a cake. But I really got like a cookie, a lemon cookie, beautifully blended. Obviously you get the florals in there and all the notes, and so beautiful. But longevity was a no. Projection was a no. And also, like I said before, it did that kind of fluffy thing, and that's the best way I could describe it. Like a beautiful citrus lemon gourmand opening, and then it just felt really flat for me. I feel like it's a complex scent, so when I say flat, I mean more in terms of my expectations, but it got really fluffy on my skin. It just did not work, and it did not last, and it just did not give like that gourmand that I'm looking for, because if I'm wearing a gourmand, I'm gonna wear a gourmand. So I think this scent, and I'm not saying it's a bad scent at all, because it's a very lovely scent. I had it in my collection and I even tested it before I purchased. So I really gave it up for redundancy reasons, and also for the fact that it was too soft for my liking. Me, when I'm into fragrances, I like a moderate fragrance in terms of strength to strong powerhouse, but I really find my comfort in moderate. I feel like Lira was more on the softer side. This is for a person that wants a gourmand that's not going to be like straight up like lick your skin off type cake. Somebody that's more reserved, somebody that's more quiet but wants to, you know, enjoy the gourmand around them. And I just feel like that's not me. I'm definitely more of a personality, like a bolder personality, if that makes sense. I suck at explaining things, but so yeah, that's why I actually gave it up. And it's also really similar to the next fragrance that I'm going to be talking about, and this is Sauna by Blend Oud. I'm honestly shocked I was able to find it. This mess back here, I need to reorganize and clean everything up. But Sauna by Blend Oud, it's literally 1-to-1 notes with Lira. And this was literally why I gave up Lira. If like I did not have this, I would not have given up Lira. But for me, this one's a little bit more projecting. This one smelled a lot better on my skin. And like I said before, or if I have not said yet, these are my opinions. I'm just a girl who likes fragrance and dislikes a lot of fragrance as well, and just comes on camera and just says what's on my mind. I'm literally like hardly even thinking before no, that's not true, but I'm just saying what comes to mind. I'm not judging anybody for I'm not judging anyone for their fragrance. Fragrance is subjective, and not only do we smell differently, like in terms of us sniffing, but things also smell differently on everyone's skin. So bear that in mind. These are just my opinions, these are my thoughts. And Sauna, for me, it was much more projecting, it was much more beast mode. Longevity, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I felt like Lira outlasted this, but then other times I felt like they were about the same. Still not, you know, my preference for whatever, but I still think it's a nice scent. So this one was just like stronger on my skin. This one was a lot more linear. I feel like a gripe people may have with this is that it is linear. It does not change. It does not morph as much as Lira does. It's not as complex. It's the same notes, but it's just straightforward shot. It's one go. And also the orange in the beginning of this is really predominant. I'm so happy that, you know, most fragrances get better as they age, because when I did get this fragrance and the juice was like more up here, I felt as if it almost gave cleaner, like a citric cleaner, but it doesn't do that for me anymore. And even when it did, it was only a couple seconds, but yeah, no, I definitely felt like this gave citric cleaner beforehand, and it was just a little too much. But now I love it. It's blended beautifully. I just like the vibes this gives more. And I feel like you should definitely sample them both for yourself and check your preference, because I've noticed that people, it's pretty much one or the other in terms of preference between these two if you are looking between these two, because the notes are so similar. It's just a stylistic kind of thing. So moving on, I've been rambling. Okay, so moving on, we're talking about Idolo's Love and Crime. So to make things a little simpler, I feel like Sana is the baby of Lira and Love and Crime. So Love and Crime is very powerhouse. This one actually has a different set of notes. I believe instead of the spiciness, you know, Lira and Sana have notes 1 to 1. This one differs a little bit. There's pink pepper for the spice instead of, I forget what notes are in the other two. But it's definitely like a different take. It's not the same fragrance over and over again. And there's also that added chocolate note, so it's like a chocolate and orange kind of cake instead. I like this one, but I feel like it's really bold. This is projective, this is bold, this is loud, this is a spicy, and this is more spicy. I feel like pink pepper packs a punch a lot of the time. So I don't know, I like this fragrance. I'm still sitting on it, especially because I love chocolates. That was really why I kept both of these two, because they do smell similar. Like I said, I feel like Sana is like the love child of Love and Crime and Lira. It kind of smells like Love and Crime, less spicy, and it nicks the chocolate, in my opinion, to me. But yeah, I kept them both just because I have not made a decision between the two. I'm happy I was able to decide between the three though. So those are kind of like the trio that I feel like you should definitely sample to see what your preferences are. They're all beautiful fragrances, but I tried to specify who would like what or the kind of vibe it gives. I really just feel like it's more in terms of like, are you outgoing? Do you like a chocolate note? Do you like major projection? Everyone loves longevity. I don't know, some people like to switch their fragrances up. Not everyone loves a crazy longevity. So, I mean, just really take that into consideration, and I would recommend testing those three for yourself, especially if you're looking for niche citrus gourmand. So that was a mouthful. Let's hop into a designer fragrance. I wanted to include it because although not exactly the same, I feel like it could go under the citrus gourmand category. This is Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana. So honestly, I've not tested this fragrance too much. The few times that I have put it on my skin, I did not really care for it, so I will be passing this along. But to me, it kind of smells similar to Lira. And not completely, almost like Lira and an orange creamsicle had a baby. It definitely has a similar vibe, but I feel like it has that same fluffy thing kind of going on, and I don't know how else to describe it. It just has a fluffiness to it that I do not like the way my skin pulls. Kind of in the same way as Lira. In terms of projection and longevity, if you do like the sun profile, I actually feel like it's a really valid buy. Projection and longevity are pretty great, honestly. Like, it's a really nice fragrance. I just do not like the way it pulls on my skin. But I love to smell it out of the bottle. I feel like I would like to smell it on someone else, and I also feel like this would be a really beautiful scent to wear in the spring. But I just do not find it to be for me. And does anyone else feel that way? Like, you feel a little upset when you don't like the same fragrances that anyone, like everybody else likes. There's been so many times like I would have loved to hop on the hype train, and then I'm just like, I don't get it, you know? But like that's also the beautiful thing about fragrance, you know, because you're just so into what you're into, and I think that's really important that you stay true to yourself. Kind of why I'm trying to curate my collection now, really focus on it, make it something that I'm proud of. I mean, I am proud of it, obviously, I'm very thankful, but I really want it to reflect me. And beautiful scent. It's definitely fluffy, smells like an orange creamsicle, cake-ish, maybe like a fluffy cookie, you know, like those fluffy cookies that have like the pink icing on it. I'll try to insert a picture, but it gives like that kind of consistency, like fluffy, I don't know, just like puffy, fluffy. That's what I'm getting from this. This is nice, but like I said, it's not me. So now we're starting to get into my favorites. So this is Akro Bake. Akro Bake is a very gorgeous fragrance. This one to me is the most photorealistic. Like if you want to smell like a straight up lemon cupcake from like a high-end bakery with a little bit of that lemon cream filling and vanilla frosting and like a candied lemon on top. This is so decadent. It wears really, really well in hot weather actually. You'd be surprised, but it wears so well. I've worn this in Florida and it was about 90 something degrees when I wore it, and I think I might have oversprayed, maybe not too much, but I think I did spray a decent amount and it held up. I did not feel like I was choking myself out. I just felt like I had a nice, beautiful scent cloud around me. This fragrance, it kind of also smells like it's hot, like a freshly baked lemon cupcake. This does not smell like it's been sitting out and it's cold. I feel like you can almost get a whiff of the warmth in this fragrance. I just feel like this was one of the best lemon gourmands. It was done 100% right. I don't know, I mean, you could probably wear this in any season, but I feel like this is going to thrive probably in the spring, summer. Me personally, I did not reach for it the last couple months. But this is a really beautiful fragrance. I do have a little bit of a dent. It is so yummy. If you're into straight up gourmands smelling like a snack, I would opt for this one. I feel like the previous ones, they were gourmand and they did represent a citrus gourmand, but I feel like this one's more realistic, more straight up. You're not really getting a floral aspect. The other ones all have like lavender in them and other notes. This one's more straightforward and I really, really enjoy this one a lot. Guys, I'm honestly obsessed with this fragrance and I think this is actually the last citrus gourmand I have in my collection, but I just remembered I did own one previously that I'm going to talk about. So this is the second to last one I'm going to talk about. And this one is Hufflepuff by House of Sillage. This one is absolutely stunning. Like, I'm sorry, I would have bought it just for the bottle. The scent smelling amazing was totally just a bonus. So for me, this one, I don't know. So it's between Bake Akro and this one for me, for being like my number one. I would suppose that these ones would probably be more appropriate for like the spring summer months. Well, the other two that I have in my collection, Sana as well as Idolo's Love and Crime, I feel like those would be more appropriate for winter, fall. So I feel like we've got options here, 2 of each. I feel like that's not hoarding, right? So this one's really, really beautiful. This one is, it's like citric, but it's not harsh. It's very, very soft, and you definitely get like a cake-like feeling from it. I don't know exactly what notes are in here that would make it smell like a cake, but it smells like a spongy, like light, airy, beautiful cake. And I also get nuances of a similar DNA to a fragrance that I actually really adore, and that is La Danza Delle Libellule. And that one has like a coconut, vanilla, creamy kind of feel to it, and I do find a little bit of that DNA in here. Not saying they're dupes, not saying that, you know, they smell exactly the same, but they both have that coconut, vanilla, creamy undertone, especially in the base, and I just really find a similarity within that, and I love that fragrance, and naturally I'm going to love this one because it's literally that plus lemon gourmand plus beautiful bottle plus extra goodness. So I really am obsessed with this one. If you are looking at cupcakes, I highly recommend this one. I Don't know if they're for sale right now. I'll have to check on that for you guys. They might be actually. I think they might be. But definitely go check on that. I got mine on sale personally. Do what you want. If you're a free gift kind of girly, you can obviously pay full price. If you like a sale, like a deal, like to save money, you can do that as well. But I just really think this is a beautiful, beautiful scent. I'm really, really obsessed with it, and I actually need to wear this a little bit more. I kind of forgot how good it was. Yeah, I don't know. House of Sillage is one of those brands that people think are like really frou-frou, whatever, because they see the cupcakes and they're like, oh, that's the selling point. But then like you actually own one and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Like, I'm really happy I own it. I feel like a lot of people count it out because it's in a cupcake, but like for me, that was a selling point. I think it's really, really pretty. I think the scent's really, really pretty. And if you guys do get a chance to smell it or get your hands on it, I would, especially if you like the scent profile. I think it's really, really nice. Yeah, so I think this one or Baked by Akro would have to be my number one, and then the other two kind of fall behind that, and then Lira Devotion would be at the bottom for me. I know some people that would rank it totally backwards, so this again is just my opinion. And oh, I almost forgot. I'm really happy I did it, but I do want to talk about Rehab Soft. So before I even was able to acquire any of these fragrances, I did get Rehab Soft. I actually got it with the intention like, hey, if I finish this, I'm going to get Lira. It's going to be so amazing. And like, I just really wanted to make sure that I was willing to commit to a lemon gourmand, because you know, these fragrance prices can get really crazy. If you're not careful. So I got Rehab Soft, and it kind of smelled like pink sugar meets lemon gourmand. It was really, really beautiful. I got through about half the bottle before I ended up decluttering it, and that was kind of my go to go ahead and get the fragrance that I wanted. And I think I actually got Akro Bake first. Funny, right? But yeah, I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. It's really affordable. I think it's like $9 on Amazon, and it's really, really nice. And I just realized I have another lemon gourmand for you guys, so let me go get it. Okay, so if you're not a super sugary girly and you do want an affordable lemon gourmand, I also want to offer another option, because I think this one is really, really nice, and I'm not sure if it's seasonal or what. I'm sure you could find it somewhere, and this is iced lemon pound cake. Now let me tell you, this one I feel like could be directly compared to Akro Bake. I feel like it is really similar. It's pretty photorealistic, and it smells really, really good. Like honestly, if you're like a fragrance snob, or like you like, I don't even want to say that because it has a negative connotation. Say you prefer more expensive fragrances and that's just your personal taste, that's just what you like to do, you could give this a whiff and I guarantee you would think it's like expensive. This is a really, really nice fragrance. It's one of my favorite body sprays. I like this one, and I also like a lot of the Sol de Janeiros. I really don't have that many body sprays, but this is one that I always want to have. I spray it all the time on my kids. I spray it on myself. Like, it is so good. I have the matching lotion. The fragrance notes are sugary glazed icing, pure lemon zest, and fluffy pound cake. This is so good. But yeah, I really, really love it. I feel like Bath&Bodyworks, I feel like as long as you're selective, you can get a lot of really good scents. There's a lot of generic scents there, but there's a lot of like hidden gems for real. And this is one of them. Like, this is so yummy and a very, very beautiful lemon gourmand scent. So those are my experiences with lemon gourmands. I know there's so many others, or citrus gourmands, right? We're doing citrus gourmand. There's so many other beautiful fragrances that fit under that category, but this is my experience with that scent profile. I think I'm done exploring for now. I feel like I'm officially kind of, I don't want to say I've left my gourmand era, but I'm going elsewhere right now. I'm enjoying other fragrances. So yes, if you guys have any other questions about the scent profile, or you would like me to weigh in on any other fragrances within the scent profile, feel free to comment down below. I'll most likely order a sample and let you know my experience with it, and you can take it with a grain of salt. You can completely reject it, you can accept it, do what you want with it. And yeah, until next time guys, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys always. Take care of yourself. Bye.